Sisi hates the Palestinians. Never in our history did Cairo ask for Tel Aviv's permission to let in aid. He could have put himself in one of the trucks, and go and lead a convoy, into Gaza with the aid. But that's not him. He's a coward.
I guess the question is, obviously we've talked about how Sisi has treated Rafah differently than previous leaders in Egypt, and how that's sort of changed over time. Is that a reflection of his regional decline and loss of power, or is that something different here?
I think it's related to a couple of things. I mean, on the one hand, it's a decline in regional power, for sure. Never in our history did Cairo ask for Tel Aviv's permission in order to let in aid or to let in anyone in and out of an Egyptian-Palestinian, crossing at the end of the day. But under Sisi, who is extremely weak and has to consider so much when it comes to his foreign patrons, part of why he shut down, the crossing was that. The other reason is that he hates the Palestinians. Sisi hates the Palestinians. I mean, our ruling elites, they regard the Palestinians as an enemy. Every single twist and turn in the history of dissent in Egypt has been either directly or indirectly linked to the Palestinian cause. I've just given the example of, 2011. It's essentially, the central organizers in Tahrir and elsewhere were people like us who came from the ranks of the Palestine Solidarity Movement. What started to break down Hosni Mubarak's political order in Egypt was the outbreak of the Second Palestinian Intifada in 2000. This triggered a chain reaction that led to the 2011 uprising. During the first Intifada, for example, from 1987 to 1990, 1991, we didn't have independent TV stations at the time or satellite TVs, so we were only left with state-run television. At the time, the information minister, Safwat Sharif, who was Mubarak's henchman, he issued direct orders to the state TV to tune down news about the Intifada. Because guess what? I mean, Egyptians were learning about Palestine. They were imitating them in the streets at the time. The Egyptian ruling elites, they hate the Palestinians. They regard them as a source of trouble, as a source of instability. And Sisi, I think, like in his wildest dreams, would dream of like Israel, just like, wiping off Hamas, and if not wiping off, the Strip. So his decision to shut down the crossing, partially because he's weak, partially because he hates the Palestinians, and partially because he's a coward. He could have put himself, in one of the trucks, and go and lead, a convoy, into Gaza with the aid. And he would have been treated like, Saladin, or like, Nasser in 1956. He would have, been a regional hero, but that's not him. He's a coward. He's only brave when it comes to slaughtering his own people in public squares, when it comes to locking up and kidnapping dissidents. That's the only thing, he's brave at, but not confronting Israel.